Time for another question. So let's reach into the trusty jar here. Man, we're really going to do 21 of these today? We'll see. We'll see if I can get them all out. All right. Question. This one, how does Bitcoin work? I'll hold it up for the camera this time. There we go. Can ever line them up right there. How does Bitcoin work? Now, of course, I cover it in my mouth, but you get the idea. How does Bitcoin work? That's a lot of people that wonder, like, where's this magical internet money coming from, this digital gold? Well, here's how the network works, and then I'll explain how the transactions work, and then hopefully we can put that all together. So first off, every 10 minutes, Bitcoin is created. And what happens is that there are computers, they're all over the globe, and it's with the decentralized part, and they run the program that monitors and tracks Bitcoin. Okay, some call them nodes, but they run this program. The miners run this. There's nodes that run it, but they keep the record, the ledger, the blockchain going. And every 10 minutes, there's a new block added. Now, every 10 minutes, there's a race. There's competition among the computers that run this software to find an answer to a very difficult math problem. The first one that gets that answer gets to write the next block, and they get rewarded with whatever the block reward is. And the block reward originally started with 50 Bitcoins per block. Now, in every 4 years, it gets cut in half. I believe it's 3 1/8 right now. So it went 50, 25, 12 and a half, 6 1/4. I think we're at 3 1/8 right now. So someone, or some ones, if they have multiple computers, or a pool, they earn 3 and a little bit of Bitcoin every 10 minutes if they win that block. Now, most people don't win a block very often, if at all. But when you win a block, it's a bonus, and you get to write the next block. Well, what goes in that block? The block is data, all right? It's transaction records. So if I send money to you or you send money to me, that's always welcome. I appreciate that. But if you send Bitcoin to me, that is a transaction for the network. And the network is told, hey, there's a transaction we want you to write into the network. And that's what's get written into the block. Also in the block is the chain part, which is a hash, a number that's done by a formula that says the last block was this. And it kind of links them together. That's the chain part, so that we have everything linked together. So Bitcoin is being a record of data. There's new blocks that are created to record the transactions. The transactions are put into a pool. The pool then it becomes the part of the next data block. And sometimes there's lots of data and they have to do multiple blocks to catch up. And sometimes there's not much and the pool is empty. Happens not that often, but depends on how much the network gets used. And then the companies or the persons that are running the miners, if they win that reward, or they get said, hey, you get to write the next block, they say, okay, I'm going to write the next block, and there's only so much room, but they put in whatever the top of the transactions are, and you're usually ranked by the fees associated with them. Some people want to spend a high fee to move it quickly. Some people say whenever you get to it, you get to it. But they take some of those transactions that are on the to-do list, they take them, put them in the next block, and they write the block to the blockchain, and they send it out to the network. And then all the computers that are running the program write the next block and say, yep, that looks good, we'll confirm it, and we'll add it to the list. And then that's where sometimes it takes a little while to settle the transaction. That's when you have to write a couple blocks to make sure that everybody's good. There hasn't been multiple attempts to write the blockchain or alter the blockchain. That's the settlement time, but that's basically it. You do a transaction, you send or receive Bitcoin, the network is notified, the miners, whoever miners are notified, they have the list of the transactions. Whoever gets that math problem right gets to write the next block, and then they take that data of that transactions, put it into the next block, and they take that hash part to link it to the rest of the chain, create the next block, and transmit it to the rest of the network, and the network confirms that everything's good when it's time to do the whole process all over again. So, speaking of processes all over again, let's move on to the next question.